So occasionally in the video game space, these companies will do things to remind people, oh, right, these are corporations looking to make money, and they will at times make decisions that are not great for us, right? It actually has happened quite a bit recently. Microsoft attempting to double the price of Xbox Live, Sony attempting to shut down the PlayStation 3, the Vita, and the PSP stores, or Nintendo just taking away some of those cool Mario games, whether it's Mario 35 or the Mario 3D All-Stars collection, just because it's something that happens occasionally, and you get that cold hard slap of reality that they are corporations looking to make money. So what's happening right now is another instance of this with Sony, and I wanted to talk about it today because it actually gives us a bit more insight into that entire situation that was going on years ago when Sony was really fighting cross-platform play. Guys, if you enjoy these videos, make sure that like button helps out a ton, and if you're new here to the Spawn Wave Plus channel, make sure you subscribe down below. So let's head over here to The Verge, because during a court case going on right now, we're having a lot of, documents being entered in to make the case on either side, whether it's Epic Games or Apple. But that's been ongoing for a while, but they're to the stage now where they are kind of going back and forth with different documents, which means Epic Games they're actually putting some pretty interesting stuff out there that we are now seeing. And some of this has to do with Sony when they were really fighting against the idea of cross-platform play, cross-progression with Fortnite. And this was, I feel like this was this 2018? It was years ago, and this blew up into a big thing. Everyone was really frustrated with Sony. And it looks like it wasn't just us, as Epic really wanted to make cross-platform play a thing for Fortnite. I mean, it benefits Epic Games, obviously, if they can have a large player base playing together. It makes it so that one platform, maybe having less of a player population, wouldn't really matter too much. And if they bring everyone together on Fortnite, they can have those massive events that generate a ton of revenue without having to worry about, setting everything up for each platform and hoping that one platform can kind of hold itself up with a player base, to the point where they were sending emails like this. And this was pretty eye-opening. This was one that was entered in to the court case here, and it appears to have gotten out, as this is from Joe Kreiner, who is the Business Development Unreal Engine Americas for Epic Games, where they say, "We love working with PlayStation. We want this to be a win-win. The longer this drags out, it will be less so. I can't think of a scenario where Epic doesn't get what we want." That possibility went out the door when Fortnite became the biggest game on PlayStation. So we also found out during this court case that the Fortnite revenue is primarily made up of PlayStation players. 50% is on PlayStation. That's massive, by the way, if you consider Fortnite's on mobile devices. It's on the Switch, Xbox, PC. No, half of all the revenue generated for Fortnite is from PlayStation. So obviously, it makes sense why Sony's looking around saying, well, hold on, most of the money's coming from us. Why would we do cross-platform play with these other platforms that aren't bringing in as much revenue? It doesn't help us. It could potentially hurt us. And it looks like even Epic realized this, and they go through, I mean, there's 7 bullet points here, but it is like a laundry list of stuff that would make PlayStation look amazing, right, for doing this. Let me give you an example here where they say things like Epic deeply integrates Sony's esports API into Unreal Engine 4 as an engine-level feature. We market and advertise it as a first-class citizen of the engine, maybe an E3 announcement even, and we support it in Fortnite. We announced crossplay in conjunction with Sony. Epic goes out of its way to make Sony look like heroes. You get to pick the when, where, and how, even going as far as to incorporate Unreal Engine 4 when it comes to the overall terms. Like, Epic extends the Sony company-wide UE4 license. I don't think I've mentioned this before, but your license to use Unreal Engine 4 expires in May 2019. That license has some of the best terms we've ever offered in Unreal Engine 4. Yeah, Epic Games was bending over backwards to try to figure out this entire cross-platform situation, which leads us to what Sony decided to do here with their solution, which was a cross-platform revenue share policy. It's something that was making the rounds online with a slide that I guess was shown as part of this court case to kind of illustrate what Sony does on their platform when it comes to playing with other systems like the Switch or the Xbox. And a lot of it has to do with Sony realizing, yes, they make the most money for Fortnite. They don't necessarily want to lose that revenue because people are deciding to play with their friends on the Switch. So if it negatively impacts them, the developers actually have to make up for it. Check this slide out here. They even have an entire formula here that you have to go through in order to figure out how much money you would owe in a given month. This appears to be month to month, where they describe it as cross-platform revenue share, which is cross-platform revenue across all cohorts, which I like the term cohorts, by the way, even capitalized it there. It makes it seem a bit more, I don't know, menacing or something here to have cohorts thrown in there. Technically, it's the correct word, right? It's a bunch of people or entities kind of grouped together here, but across all cohorts and times PS4 gameplay share minus PSN revenue times 15%. They have a little chart here that tries to illustrate it better, but basically it comes down to, hey, if these other systems that we are allowing to play with our player base on PlayStation impacts our revenue negatively when compared to the overall revenue that the game generates. So we go down, the revenue of the game is maybe being pushed more out to other platforms. You have to make up for that. All right, and again, a lot of that has to do with Sony controlling the majority of the revenue coming in for Fortnite at the time. I'm sure they thought about that and said, well, let's have the developers pay for that if they really want to have cross-platform play for their games. It even goes as far as Sony being able to take a look at your books and make sure you're reporting the right numbers, with the bullet point down here saying SIE have the right to audit partners' books and records related to the cross-platform revenue share in accordance with section 151.3 of the GDPA. So it comes down to this. Sony does not like the idea of cross-platform play if it negatively impacts their bottom line, as you would expect from a corporation, which is why when I saw this, I wasn't surprised, but there are a lot of people who appeared to be surprised online. And that's just kind of blurring the lines when it comes to video game companies. Yes, they provide entertainment and excitement, especially if they announce some cool games, like, Nintendo having Breath of the Wild 2, right? Or Sony having like Ratchet and Clank or the next God of War or Horizon, or Microsoft having Halo Infinite if it looks good, right? Or Fable or Perfect Dark. It's exciting stuff when they provide you these kind of games and kind of maybe even that callback to nostalgia with some of this stuff. But at the end of the day, these are board meetings that happen. They're talking with investors because it all comes down to money and how much they can get from you, or how much they can keep themselves from losing if they decide to make a decision that would directly benefit you and maybe some of your friends. I mean, at the time, remember, a lot of people were saying, come on, Sony, make the right decision here. Make it so that I can play with my friend who's on their Xbox or on their Switch if I'm using my PlayStation 4. This goes back years and years, like I said, back to when we were really talking about this and it blew up in the news in 2018, I believe. But it also extends to things like Minecraft, I'm sure, as this is most likely something that Microsoft had to take a look over as well. So think about that, but then also look towards smaller developers, maybe indie developers who are thinking about doing things like this. You know what? I would probably pass on it. I'd say it doesn't feel worth it because I can't guarantee that the PlayStation version of the game will be the most popular. Therefore, I won't have to pay any kind of cross-platform revenue share. So at the end of the day, yes, this agreement, this policy would actually make things worse for us. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about the cross-platform revenue share policy that was making the rounds online today from Sony. And as I've said before, and I'm sure I'll say it again about all these different companies, there's Microsoft, Nintendo, Sony, Epic. They're not making these decisions necessarily because it's good for you, the consumer. They're making it because at the end of the day, they somehow get more money from it. Whether it's even built up from goodwill or PR or any of that, it comes down to the bottom line. It's a business relationship from them to you, so it should be on the opposite side from you to them. Enjoy the games, have fun, just remember who you're buying these things from. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.